Townsville may be in the grips of a youth crime outbreak, but for residents of Martinez Avenue, the problem has been going on for a lot longer. Neil O'Connor is a resident in the area. Since 2003, he has lived opposite a pathway that leads from Martinez Avenue onto Woolcock Street. In that time, Mr O'Connor has witnessed people use the pathway as an opportunity to thieve, vandalise and cause mischief in the area. Mr O'Connor's house has been broken into 3 times and his car 4 times. He said residents entered negotiations with Townsville City Council to close off or gate the pathway 2 years ago. But residents are still waiting for a solution.
I believe it was approximately 2 years ago that we started negotiations with the council about doing some things in the street, and one of them was closing off that or putting a gate there so that the residents could use it, because you're not really impacting on anybody other than the residents. So if you were just a normal person going shopping at Castletown wanting to go home, you would just walk along Woolcock Street. You're not placed at any inconvenience. So that was about 2 years ago. We didn't have a lot of luck with the council. We pushed it and we got a response from one of the councillors that said that if we had a survey from the roundabout back up to the end of the street, that we would, and if we got the majority of people, they would look at closing it. They said that they would really like 100%, but they said a significant number of people would have to agree to it. And I think there's 34 houses in the street, 34 blocks, and we had approximately 28 to 29 that agreed to do it, to lock it off with a gate, and a further 3 after a council meeting with Jenny Hill. She got another 3 people to agree that once they realised how bad it was up this end of the street, they were quite happy to do that, and the other 3 we didn't actually see, so we don't know what their thoughts were. But so we had approximately 31 or 32 out of 34 residents.
While an overwhelming majority of residents agreed to gating off the pathway, one man from these units on the western end of Martinez Avenue was indignant that he had not been consulted. His complaints led to the council surveying the entire 126 households along Martinez Avenue. A stipulation on the new survey meant that a no response would be taken as agreement to keeping the pathway open. Only 43 of the 126 households responded.
Very disappointed first up with the council, because the way they've handled the survey basically assured the result, and the people who weren't impacted were given an opportunity to be consulted, and I don't believe that was warranted.
Jeff Nielsen lives in the units on the western end of Martinez Avenue. He said there are a few incidences of intruders at his end of the street, with only one incident of a car window being broken, but nothing stolen.
I don't think this particular pathway or a proposed gate will have any effect on the incidents of people causing trouble here. If they want to come in and create a problem, they will.
Neil O'Connor disagrees with Jeff Nielsen. He believes if the pathway was gated, residents might have a chance at catching the troublemakers who use the pathway as an escape route.
Well, they come up there, no one sees them come up, and they just scoot straight through, break in and keep going. Whereas if they come this way and break in, they've got to go back out again. Yeah, and that's the key.
Mr O'Connor believes young offenders should be rehabilitated, but he sees the pathway as an opportunity for these young offenders to commit crime. Mr O'Connor said the offenders have broken into a 75-year-old woman's home and threatened a 10-year-old boy.
And that's what we put up with. The little fella next door's 10, got threatened that they were going to kill him.
By who, like for how old?
17, 18-year-old kids.
Residents of Martinez Avenue are not the first to petition council to close off a public area to stop crime. This 11-metre long, 1.8 metre high fence was erected after Burrum Court residents complained to council with reports of theft and vandalism in the area. While only 3 houses were affected, the council approved the plan. Local Member for Parliament David Crisafulli lives in one of these houses in Burrum Court, making the council decision to close off the area controversial. The controversy surrounding the decision aside, Mayor of Townsville Jenny Hill said she doesn't understand why the same logic that was applied to Burrum Court cannot be applied to Martinez Avenue. She said that while council wouldn't routinely close off public space, the pathway onto Martinez Avenue only services the residents in the area and no one else. Councillor Hill hopes to resuscitate the project under the newly elected council. However, the council will not meet until the end of June, meaning residents of Martinez Avenue will have to continue to wait. Time and patience they may not have. This is Megan Stafford reporting for JCNN.